Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on a WhatsApp as well. And that number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And a couple of stories making the news. Let's bring you up to speed with what's happening. And let's see the story of Antigua's Director of Public Prosecutions refusing to stay proceedings in his fraud case. That is allowed for you to. Let's see what it says. Parish Judge Venice Blackstock Murray on Tuesday morning refused an application to stay proceedings against Antigua's Director of Public Prosecutions, Anthony Armstrong, who is charged with fraud. The charges stem from the sale of 3 properties in St. Andrew between 1999 and 2002, in which Armstrong had represented the complainant who was the vendor. Armstrong contends that the proceeds of the sale were paid over to the complainant's father, who he had authorized to be his agent while he was incarcerated in the United States. Lead attorney at law Hugh Wildman had made submissions asking for charges against Armstrong to be thrown out and for the proceedings to be stayed on grounds that it was an abuse of process. The lawyer argued that there was a long delay in his client being charged, lack of or non-existent evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct. But the judge, in delivering the ruling in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, said all the grounds proffered by the defense team had failed. Wildman is seeking to have the case terminated in the parish court. He had also argued that his client was already vindicated by the General Legal Counsel. The lawyer submitted that while the counsel's disciplinary committee had found Armstrong guilty of professional misconduct for witnessing a document for a client who was not present, it had not found him guilty of any wrongdoing. Wildman maintained that Armstrong acted on the instructions of the complainant and that he was not the one who sold the properties. According to him, the properties were sold by the complainant's cousin, Shelley Peart Campbell, who is charged along with Armstrong. The judge, however, ruled that the court could not consider the General Legal Counsel's ruling, as it is duty-bound to be independent and must not consider any external factors. The judge concluded that there are issues that must be ventilated in a trial where the facts can be determined. That's Tanisha Mondle's story, which is trending on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com. Also in the news, man stabbed to death, girlfriend in police custody. This is always sad. Another interpersonal conflict leading to death. The story is man stabbed to death in Spanish Town, girlfriend in police custody. A woman is now in police custody following a domestic dispute in which a knife was allegedly used to kill her partner in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, this morning. The deceased has been identified as Tarshus Samuda of Corlets Road in the parish. It has been reported that about 5:30 this morning, the suspect and Samuda were at home along Corlets Road when a disagreement developed between them. A knife was reportedly brought into play, and during a physical tussle, Samuda was stabbed. He subsequently died from the injuries he received. The suspect later turned herself in to the Spanish Town police. It doesn't matter the day of the week, the time of day, the time of year, when individuals have matters to settle, they go ahead and settle them in their own way. And then we have what we have in terms of our very, and then we have what we have in terms of our very high crime rate. Another of the stories, forgery charges against businessman Jeffrey Mesado dropped. Let's see what that story is about. The prosecution has withdrawn forgery charges against retired business executive and accountant Jeffrey Mesado. He was charged jointly with his wife, disbarred attorney at law Jennifer Mesado. When the matter came before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, Mesado were not being pursued. Two other charges are pending. It was alleged that Mesado and his wife, with intent to defraud, created certain documentation to include a promissory note to swindle 65,000 US dollars from businessman Lauriston Stewart. The amount represented a loan in 2018 that was allegedly made by Stewart with the understanding that it would be secured by a property in which the couple had an interest. It is further alleged that the property was subsequently sold without any repayment to Stewart. When Mesado was charged in February, King's Counsel Peter Champagny and attorney at law Nico Pagan, who are representing him, had questioned the actions of the police in seeking to charge him with 4 counts of forgery and 2 counts of obtaining money by false pretenses. Champagny had criticized the police for not seeking the advice of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, in the matter. Champagny subsequently wrote to the DPP, Paula Llewellyn, asking for a review of the case against his client. The court was told on Monday by the prosecutor that the DPP, after a careful review of the matter, would not be pursuing the forgery charges against him. The Mesados are to return to court on January 25 next year. Champagny told the Gleaner that on that date, he will be making submissions for the 2 remaining charges against his client to be dismissed. Attorney at law Christopher Townsend is representing Jennifer Mesado. Just a couple of stories. Here's another one. CPFSA extends deadline for Christmas programs. Listen up. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has extended the application deadline for its Take a Child Home for the Holiday and Grant a Wish programs to Friday, December 16. So if you wish to participate in the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA's Take a Child Home for the holiday and Grant a Wish Christmas program, they have pushed back the date to the 16th, the deadline to the 16th of December. Make a note. So if you plan to take a child home for the holiday, you want to be on top of the process right now because they've had to extend the deadline, and it will not, I don't get the impression there will be a further extension. So the deadline is the 16th. If you wish to take a child home for the holiday, check with the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA. If you want to grant a wish to a child for Christmas, the deadline is the same, the 16th of December. The CPFSA says persons have up to 3 p.m. on the 16th of December to send in their applications. The programs which are hosted during the holiday season encourage people to spread the love and joy of Christmas. Conceptualized more than 10 years ago, the Take a Child Home for the Holiday program allows persons to host children ages 13 through 18 in residential childcare facilities in their homes during the holiday season. It particularly targets those who do not have families to take them home for the holiday and would otherwise be in a facility. And you can check with the, once again, you can check with the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA. And the other program, of course, is the Grant a Wish program, where the program is open to people living in and outside of Jamaica who are able to grant the wishes of children in state care, whether in cash or kind. The usual tangible gifts are requested by the children, including toys, books, care packages, clothing, and gadgets like tablets and cellular phones. Monetary donations can also be made to the National Commercial Bank's Duke Street branch. The account name is Child Development Agency. The SWIFT code is JNCB JMKXE. That's JNCB JMKXE. That's the SWIFT code. The account number for those wishing to make monetary donations to the Child Development Agency. The account number is 061018964. 061018964. And if you need more information as well, you can go to the website childprotection.gov.jm or email info@childprotection.gov.jm. Info@childprotection.gov.jm. Let's look at some of the WhatsApp messages that have come in today, shall we? We have some leftovers from yesterday as well. Salah was saying yesterday, Dervan, do the maths. When these reprobates burn down these markets, it's giving them a chance for them to go on the road. It's well orchestrated, planned. Why they're doing it? Salah from Kingston. Yes, we did deal with that yesterday, Salah. Thanks for adding your voice. Uh, Barry says Washington gave the money to fight crime and violence. Washington would not mind if the politicians put all their young people in prison and throw away the keys. David. Well, I don't know. I don't know Washington that well. Spider says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Wonder how many people in Jamaica actually saw the pyramid, and after seeing those pyramids, are they still convinced that they were built by humans? I'm just throwing it out there. And Spider sent a follow-up message. This evening's grand finale of TVJ's Schools Challenge quiz. He says, creative kids going to win. They are very good. I'm so impressed by them. My kids used to attend that school, says Spider. And we're coming up to a break, so let's take that break and come back with much more here on both sides of the story. Approaching, well, it's now 15 minutes to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.